G'day, it's Cliff on Triple M, and great to have you with us this hour as we present 3 words that might save your life. Find cancer early. I'm so chuffed, so very chuffed to be able to team up with the Cancer Council again to put that message out there, because over the last couple of years when we have done that, we have found that it has brought people to the doctors. They're asking the questions, hey, is this okay? Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. But if you find cancer early and there is a problem, well, you can start attending to it right from the get-go. From the Cancer Council, the Find Cancer Early coordinator is Hassam Al-Hakimi, and he's with us on the phone. Hello, welcome along. I hope you had a good day today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Cliff.
It is a pleasure. Now, you helped deliver the Find Cancer Early campaign. Give us the Reader's Digest version of this. What is it all
Yeah,
about? Is it more than just find cancer early? That's the basis, but is there more to it?
yep. The Find Cancer Early campaign is all about just helping people over the age of 40 in regional WA to become aware of the common cancer symptoms, and also motivating them to visit a doctor, clinic nurse, or regional health worker earlier if they notice any cancer symptoms. And yeah, Cliff, you might still remember we've run 2 TV ads in previous years. And listeners might recall as well an ad with rural doctors in the bathroom talking about symptoms. And also our most recent one, which includes real people from regional WA who have had cancer or lost loved one to cancer. And they also talk about symptoms and advising others not to make excuses for symptoms when they live out there. Yeah, so the campaign actually ran across multiple channels, and that's TV, radio, in newspapers, and social media as well.
Coming up this hour, we're going to be having a chat with Damien Healy, who is from Geraldton, from the Midwest. He is a champion of the Find Cancer Early message, and also back with us this year is Dr. Max Kamian, who's done an awful lot of work as a medico over literally decades. Why
Yeah,
did you develop this campaign? Was there something, a spark that said, hey, listen, we really need to
yeah.
get this message out to find cancer early?
We developed this campaign because sadly, people living in regional Australia have lower rates of 5 years survival for all cancers combined when we compare that to people living in major cities. So what does that really mean? It basically means people in regional Australia are more likely to die within 5 years of being diagnosed with cancer when compared to people living in major cities, which is really, really sad. And we want to change that.
Why do you think it is that there is, a problem for regional people?
Yeah, that's a great question, Cliff, and one that we get asked quite a lot. Actually, a research project was done in regional WA to find out why people in regional WA have a worse cancer outcome. Yeah, that research shows that people who live in regional WA delay reporting symptoms to their doctor or their medical professional, and that delays the diagnosis. This is very concerning because, as we all know, Cliff, that cancers found earlier can often be easily removed or treated, while cancers found later often have spread to other parts of the body, and so treatments becomes more difficult, and the person's chances of survival may not be as good.
Does the research show you
Yeah.
why people are delaying seeking help?
Yeah, there is multiple contributing factors to this delay. The research I mentioned earlier showed us that some regional people are delaying seeking help for some reasons, and that's include they're too busy to get to a doctor, and sometimes people delay seeking help or seeing their doctor until there are more one reason to visit another town, or some people even think that their symptoms are due to something else and not cancer.
Mm.
Yeah, and some self-manage their symptoms, tend to self-manage their symptoms, and don't really realize that their symptoms could be a sign of cancer.
Mm.
So yeah, while we do understand that there are many reasons why people in regional AA might hesitate to see a medical professional. We really urge them to please book an appointment with a doctor, clinic nurse, or regional health worker straight away when they notice any unusual symptoms. And just remember, your health is worth prioritizing, and and seeking medical attention early could really save your life.
I'm going to come back to this at the end of the hour after we've spoken to the doctor and to Damien as well, but I want to touch on it now and then we can come back to it again afterwards. What are the common cancer symptoms to keep an eye out for now? Have you got a list of common symptoms?
Yeah, it's worth flagging that there are more than 200 types of cancer, so there are quite a number of symptoms people can experience. But the key message is know your body and what's normal for you. And if you notice anything unusual, please go and see your doctor, especially if you've noticed blood in your poo, blood in your pee, or you've coughed up blood. And that's even if only once, or if you've noticed for more than 4 weeks, problems peeing, unexplained weight loss, or a cough that won't go away, shortness of breath, or an unusual pain, lump, or swelling anywhere in your body, or a new or a change spot in your skin, or sometimes changes to your bowel habits. And that's including runny poo, pooping more often, or constipations. Yeah, generally speaking, you know your body best.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you notice anything unusual, please go and see a doctor. It doesn't mean you've got cancer. Often it's just something less serious, but it's very important to get them checked by a medical professional just in case.
Hence those three words, find cancer early. Hassam, I'm going to come back to you at the end of the hour because this campaign is basically targeted for people over 40. I want to know about that. And then what else? If something happens, what do you do then? But for now, Hassam Al-Hakimi, thank you so much for being with us. We'll come back again at the back of the hour. Hassam is the Find Cancer Early coordinator for the Cancer Council, and we've got more to come on Triple M. You're with Triple M, and it is the drive home, our yearly look at cancer, and you should be looking early. The message is find cancer early. It might save your life. And I'm so chuffed to be able to talk to this gentleman once again. We've had him for the last couple of years for the Cancer Council Special. It is Dr. Max Damien, Emeritus Professor, General Practice at UWA, and one of the gentlemen who actually started the Find Cancer Early project with an early appearance in the TV ads. You've probably seen him. He's done an awful lot of work in country Australia, Western Australia as well, of course. And the Find Cancer Early message is something that every single person, every single one of us must heed. Dr. Max Damien, hello, welcome back. And let me ask you also, sir, how are you?
I'm very fine and with you again, Cliff.
Let's talk about doctors, the practice. Someone comes in, there must be a lot of symptoms that you see, various conditions. How do you know if it's something serious or not? Is it something that you just feel, do you think?
No, you take a history, you listen to what the patient says, and then you work out what you're going to do. And you've got certain rules. And the first rule is it's better to be safe than sorry. And the second rule is that if you were a motor car and the motor car started to shake or the engine started to make a strange noise, if you were a driver, you'd probably get it checked. And if you didn't get it checked, you'd probably find that 2 weeks down the line, you're up for $20,000 for a new engine. So it's very similar to that. You play safe rather than sorry. It's better to get a test, better to firstly examine the patient and then get a test. It might just be a plain X-ray, or it might be a CT scan or an MRI, or blood tests. But whatever it is, you want to exclude the suspicion that something's happening.
And I suppose it must be nice then if you get the results back and it's all okay, you can say anything that you were worried about for, the big C, put that out of your mind, and that's got to put the patient at ease too.
Well, it's helpful. Sometimes it's not the total answer, and sometimes you need to say to the patient, look, To be absolutely certain, I think we need to this again in 3 months or maybe 6 months. But basically, don't ignore it.
As a medico, and you've worked in the regions a lot, you must have heard every excuse under the sun for putting off seeing a doctor.
Well, absolutely. It's worse with men. Macho men, she'll be right, mate. And sometimes it isn't right. They see a little skin thing and they peck at it and they say, oh, well, there's nothing much. And 6 months down the line, it comes back, it's melanoma.
Mm.
So basically, if you had it out 6 months before, your chances of survival are infinitely greater than when it starts to get bigger.
Find cancer early. But what about people, and you mentioned men, sometimes we're not that good at looking after ourselves. That's okay. It'll go away. She'll be fine. And people might think if they're going to see the doctor, they'd be wasting your time. What do you say to them?
I'd say that that's what I'm there for.
Mm.
I'm there for people who are sick, and I'm there for people who are worried that they might be sick, or I'm there for people who sort of don't know about medicine, know a lot about farming, a lot about machinery, much more than I do. But they come to me, and my job is to say, okay, let's look at this. I mean, it's not just that. There's people reach a certain age where they should be looked at least yearly. It's like having a car service once a year or every 10,000 kilometres.
That's a great analogy, and it just works so well in this instance as well. But what about the yuck factor? What about the embarrassment factor from people, oh, no, I don't want to do that. I'll look at it. I'll keep an eye on it myself. I suppose it's a very real worry for some people.
It is, but sometimes I find myself, when I was in Burke, I found myself sitting between a lady and a man at a Rotary Club dinner, and they were so embarrassed. And the lady, I'd done a pap smear, and I sort of explained to her, look, this is what I do, and I don't think of you as something else. And the man was the Shire clerk, and I said, look, this Rob, just because I've done a colonoscopy on you doesn't mean I think you're an arsehole. And he relaxed after that. So look, it's what you do. I'm not embarrassed by it, and I understand that people can be embarrassed, but so you put them at their ease, and most of them are not.
Mm. What advice do you have for patients who are coming along to see you? They worry because they might have some symptoms of cancer, and we'll get to some of those in just one moment. The symptoms to have a look out for and keep a close eye on. But if they suspect that and they're coming to see you, what preparations do you advise?
Well, basically, the only preparation that I would advise is that they might actually write down how it started and what happened, just as a sort of a memory aid. And the only other thing that doctors appreciate is that they might have a shower before they come.
That's it. All right, let's talk about symptoms. And obviously there is a range of cancers that can present to you. Skin cancer. I think last year we focused on lung cancer, bowel cancer as well. So what are the symptoms? Give us your top 3 symptoms to keep an eye on.
If you start to pass blood in your stool, if you pass any blood or you're having difficulty with going and passing urine, if you're having any difficulty with digesting food or getting short of breath or any of those symptoms, I think they should be checked out.
And how about making an appointment? The regions can be not exactly littered with doctors and hospitals and specialists. So where's the best place to start?
The place you should always start is with your general practitioner. And hopefully you would have a regular general practitioner, if that's possible. Somebody who actually knows what's going on with you The other thing that I should mention is if something's running in your family, like if your father and your uncle had prostate cancer, that makes it more likely that you're probably going to get it. So any early symptoms should be checked out quickly. And not only that, if you've got a family history of various people, say you've got two members of the family with prostate cancer, when you get to a sort of an age of 45, 50, 55, start having it checked out.
And do it regularly. I do like the analogy of your car. If you start to hear a knock in the car, you can't ignore that. And if you've got some of these symptoms that you talked about just a moment ago, get it checked out because, too late is too late, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's even more later than with your motor car. I mean, your motor car is just going to cost you a lot of money. Your body's going to cost you your life.
Find cancer early. That is the message. Dr. Max Damien, it is always nice to be able to talk to you. May you be well, sir. May that tennis backhand come back and do some good for you again. And hopefully we can catch up in the future.
Thanks, Cliff. I'll look forward to that next year.
Take
Bye.
care. Dr. Max Damien. The message is find cancer early. We're going to be talking more about some numbers and places that you can go for the Cancer Council. This is The Drive Home on Triple M. Triple M, and this is The Drive Home. It's Cliff around Western Australia, and once again, I am very chuffed to be able to help the Cancer Council to find cancer early. For the last couple of years, we've had the message, find cancer early. It might save your life. If you've got a symptom, if you have a feeling, if you sense something isn't right, go to the doctor. The doctor might say, hey, nothing to worry about, so you've got peace of mind, or it might be something that you have to attend to. And one of the champions for the Find Cancer Early message, and it's great to have him with us, Damien Healy. Hello, and firstly, how are you?
Yeah, g'day, Cliff. Really good, thanks, mate.
That is good, and thank you for representing the Cancer Council. You're a survivor of bowel cancer. Before we talk about all of that, tell us a little bit about Damien.
Yeah, sure. I live in Geraldton. I was a customs officer and I'm now a wharf supervisor at the Midwest ports and also a member of the local marine rescue. And I'm living in such a great place. I love diving, boating, spearfishing, playing squash, just enjoying the lifestyle that country WA on the coast provides.
We live in paradise, there's no doubt about it. But then one day you're sitting across from the doctor. Do you remember the instant when he said, I'm sorry, Damien, the tests have come back, it's positive to bowel cancer?
Yeah, sure do. I'll never forget it. It's sort of a pretty sinking feeling. I obviously had a sense that it was coming, but you still don't want to hear it. And then sort of the world sort of caves in a bit around you. That was just the feeling I had at the time.
And the symptoms, what led up to this? And tell us about the time frame from when you first said, hello, something might not be right here, to when you went to the doctor and then got the diagnosis.
Yeah, it was actually over a period of time. I did notice that I had blood in my poo, and I would go and see the doctor and explain that I had it, but only as a secondary. And then the symptoms were generally hemorrhoids, so they would tell me it was hemorrhoids. That's what I wanted to hear, so then I'd leave it. And then eventually, after a couple of years, I started to feel some pain in my stomach that was unusual. And putting the two together and seeing the Find Cancer Early ads, I thought I actually need to see the doctor about this specific item. And when I explained my symptoms and said that I really wanted to get checked out, we then agreed that a colonoscopy was the best way forward. And then I had the colonoscopy and the doctor told me that it was probably hemorrhoids, or the surgeon told me that, and that I wouldn't probably see him again. I'd just see my doctor. But then when I woke up, he had a picture of my face of these giant polyps and said I had to go to Perth and get them cut out. And I proceeded to Perth, and then they said they got them all out, and it looked pretty good. It looked like it was going to be okay. And then I got the news that, there was bowel cancer in one of the polyps.
Did you decide this yourself, Damien, to go and get checked out, or was there pressure from from family to say, hey, don't do the Australian guy thing, that'll go away, that'll be fine. How did that process come about?
I was more keeping it to myself, but seeing the Find Cancer Early ads, it just sort of prompted me. And having my daughter, who was about 16, 17 at the time, sort of thinking that I really want to see her grow up. And I was just like, don't be silly, like just go and get it checked out. Because I knew there wasn't something quite right, and I really wanted to know for sure what it actually was. And then that's what prompted me to go and see the doctor and say, yep, I actually need to know what this is.
That's the importance of the message, isn't it, Damien? Find cancer early, because if you'd left this for another year, another 2 years maybe, we might not be talking.
Yeah, both of the surgeons, the one in Geraldton and the surgeon in Perth, they both said if I waited till I was 50, which was my plan to do the normal screening, they said I wouldn't have made it. Because I got it early, it could be treated and fixed. But if I waited another 3 or 4 years, or 5 years, I wasn't going to make it.
Find cancer early. You know, it's three little words, but I've said it a number of times, and you're saying it here now, Damien. That might save your life. Find cancer early, because it could have been just hemorrhoids, and you go away and go, oh, thank heavens for that. That's no fun, but at least it's not cancer. But I'm so glad that we're able to talk to you, and you sound pretty positive. And talking to you off air as well, Damien, you're pretty physical. You really want to get back to your diving and all of that sort of business again. How did you stay positive? How did you stay motivated through your treatment, which, again, no fun there?
Well, it's definitely family. The desire to want to see your family grow up and enjoy life. And the positive thing I found was that by doing it and getting it early and not waiting until I was 50, sort of made me realise that I was pretty lucky, and to take that luckiness and move forward. And it was just basically the support of my family and friends was very important. And that got me through it.
We're talking to most of Western Australia now, and you have delivered the message to find cancer early. What is your message right now to anyone who might have some symptoms? They may have, we're talking about bowel cancer, so there could be blood in your stool, there could be loose stools, could be any of that sort of stuff. What is your message now? Call the doctor today?
Yeah, don't wait. Get it checked as soon as possible. It can save your life. In the country, it can take a couple of weeks to get in to see a doctor. So the quicker you book in to see them and start the process, if there is nothing, then it's peace of mind. But if there is something, then the quicker it can be treated, and the more chance you have of recovering from it.
And being there with your family and friends for a long time to come. What else are you looking forward to now that treatment is behind you? Getting back under the waves, I bet.
Yeah, or swimming under the water and spearing some dewies, catching some crays. Yeah, I enjoy playing local squash, just the physical activities in Geraldton. Really looking forward to it all, and just going for it, dropping a line in the water.
Mate, it is so nice to be able to talk to you, and I'm very happy that we are, in fact, able to talk to you, that you did heed the Find Cancer Early message. May you have a long and profitable and happy life, my friend, and thank you for representing the Cancer Council as the champion for Find Cancer Early. You be well.
No worries at all, Cliff. Thank you very much for having me, and it is a very worthwhile message.
Good on you, mate.
Obviously strongly support.
3 little words. Find cancer early. It might save your life. More to come soon on Triple M. Triple M on the drive home, and a special today. It's Find Cancer Early, associating with the Cancer Council to present those 3 little words that may save your life. And we started the hour, so we're going to finish the hour with Hassam Al-Hakimi, who is the Find Cancer Early coordinator for the Cancer Council. Hassam, this campaign is basically targeted for people over 40. Why that age point?
Yeah, Cliff. Yeah, we promote the campaign and its messages to people over 40 because the chance of developing cancer increases after the age of 40. So we don't really actively promote it to people under 40 because we don't want to cause any unnecessary anxiety in people who are less likely to develop cancer.
Okay, here's a big one for you. If you notice a symptom, is it okay to just participate in the national screening programs? I'm thinking breast screening, the bowel screening. Is that good enough, or it's a good start, I suppose, but is that enough?
I'm so glad you mentioned this, Cliff, because it's really important to remember that population cancer screening programs, such the one that you've just mentioned, the breast screen, or the home bowel cancer screening kits, or the cervical cancer screening, are excellent at detecting cancer early in people who do not have symptoms. So if you do not have symptoms, we certainly encourage you to participate in the 3 national cancer screening programs if eligible. However, if you do have symptoms, we urge you to see your doctor straight away. Instead, don't wait, as waiting to participate in a screening program can actually delay your diagnosis and lead to a worse outcome, as the cancer might have spread.
Find cancer early. And
Yep.
if something is found, we're talking to the regions, and WA is a big place. If you've got to travel to Perth for treatment, is there somewhere that people can stay?
Yeah. Yeah, there is. Cancer Council WA has the self-catering accommodation lodges in Perth for cancer patients and their carers from regional WA to stay at while they access treatment and an appointment in the Perth metropolitan area. So if patients live 100 kilometers or more from the city or in Northern or York, they might be eligible for the government's patient-assisted travel scheme, that's PATS, and may not have to incur any cost other than personal telephone charges.
And what about more information? Where's the first place to go?
Yep, findcancerearly.com.au. Yep, to find out more about common cancer symptoms. And also, if you are feeling overwhelmed or you need someone to talk to about cancer, please call our cancer nurses on 13 11 20 anytime.
They're saints, those people.
Yep,
Absolute
sure.
saints. You and I have talked before we came on to actually do the show here, and you said that it gladdens your heart to hear positive stories of people who have heeded the message and are still here to tell the story.
100%. 100%. Like one of the most interesting part of our job, just listening to those or reading emails from people who have had who have found their cancer early because of our ads. And I think Damien, one of them, you
Yeah.
just been chatting to him.
Yep, and it's so good because he can be at the Christmas table again this year. He can be at his kids' birthday parties this year. If you hadn't heeded the message, it could be that he's not here. And it's 3 little words, and I can't say it enough, and neither can you, I bet, that find cancer early could save your life. Once again, I say thank you so much for being with us. Thank you to the Cancer Council for allowing me to tell your story, and may you have continued success, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, Khalif, for the opportunity to speak with you. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure. Hassam Al-Hakimi, who is the Find Cancer Early coordinator for the Cancer Council, findcancerearly.com.au. And a pleasure to be able to help out bringing you the message to regional WA on the drive home on Triple M.